Quick, what is the #1 problem facing families across the globe today? Inflation? Social media? Rising healthcare costs? No, it's terrible Wi-Fi coverage in your giant ass house. Now, fortunately or unfortunately for me, my house can be covered with just a single access point, but my neighbors, Nick and Mimi, have a giant McMansion here. How many square feet?
5,000 something.
Is that even including like the outside and the pool house? So yeah, it's a large house, and
really good deal for it.
obviously that can't be covered with just a single access point. So today we will be using, can you throw me that? Or just lightly, okay. We will be using the Meshforce Model M7 Wi-Fi system. And honestly, this is the first mesh system that I've attempted to set up. So I assume it's your first as well.
Yes.
So today, this will be a very unscripted kind of, you'll see how this all goes, nothing really planned. As you can see, it's not even opened yet. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, we haven't even unopened this. Unopened? We haven't even opened this yet. So we should probably do that. You can go ahead and unwrap it like it's a Christmas present. So the idea of a mesh Wi-Fi system is that you take it comes with 3 of these pods, you install them throughout the house, and it kind of does what it says, right? A mesh system. It's going to mesh the entire Wi-Fi signal together so that no matter where you are in the house, you get a decent signal. All right, I'll read the specs. You can keep unboxing.
Okay.
So with this system, it's not quite Wi-Fi 6. You are still on AC wireless, which means you don't quite get that gigabit speed, but for a lot of people, it does not matter. We will be getting on the 5 gigahertz channel 867 megabits per second, which is more than enough for most people. So don't worry. Is this it? Oh, this is pretty. All right, unboxing. So here are the 3 pods. 1, 2, 3. 3 power plugs, and that is it, honestly. And some instructions, which we will probably need. So, okay, let's get these unpacked and figure out how we are going to set them up. So here we are in the network closet, which is much more sophisticated than my network closet, but the idea here is to go from the modem directly to one of the Meshforce hubs. That is the first step. Now, right now, they are using the AT&T modem and router combo as their main router. They do have another router located on the other side of the house, which does help with coverage. But as you know, if you're in one location in the house and move next to that router, as long as you're still connected to this one, it's not going to automatically switch over. And that's where you get the benefit with these mesh systems, where it'll automatically do all that. So as you're moving throughout the house, it'll detect which router you are closer to and automatically switch over. So first step is to get this connected, and you actually have to install the app. Here you go. Install, I think it's on page 1.
Okay.
Maybe? There you go, app. That's what you gotta do. Okay. Can you handle that?
Yes.
Perfect. We need power. I see power. We're in. Connect it. Perfect. So the first step is to go from your modem to the WAN port on one of your Meshforce routers. That is going to be the initial setup, and once you get that all connected and ready to go, you can add the other 2. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go from the modem to the Meshforce. Here we're in. Then is the app installed?
Get in there.
Okay, so technical difficulties. Somebody can't remember their password to download the app, so here I come to the rescue. Now, I have the app installed. We're gonna walk through the setup right here. Yeah, I agree to this. Sure. Connect to the Wi-Fi, tap the settings, then Wi-Fi. Okay, let's go into my Wi-Fi settings and see if it's there. I see my mesh. Password, it should be located on here. I think it was like alone9689. It's a little creepy. Alone9689. I don't know what it's trying to tell me. We're in. back to the app. Welcome to my mesh, setup. Mesh point is identifying your connection type. Please wait a second. Okay, your internet connection is a dynamic IP. So we can change this later. What's happening is that the modem is still acting as a DHCP router and assigning us a dynamic IP address to the router instead of passing through the static IP. So later we will turn off the DHCP on the AT&T modem and go from there. But for right now, this is fine. What do you guys want to name your new Wi-Fi?
I don't know, something easy.
Something easy? Easy mesh.
Okay.
Creative. Here, enter a password on this. Dude, look at, get a shot of this. Look at how risky that is. Who just sets their phone down on it? Oh my God. Psychopath. I hate that password. Don't press OK yet. I got to show everybody what.
Don't show everybody my password.
You act like people are going to drive up to, okay. I won't show them, but it's those annoying things where it's like 1, 2, 3, and they're like spelled out differently. So when you have to tell somebody, oh my God.
Yeah, I remember that one. I can remember it.
Okay. So when you tell somebody what's your Wi-Fi password, you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. I write it down for them.
Okay. Successfully connected.
Yay!
How to connect. I think we're just connected. So I'm connected. Oh wait. Okay. Easy mesh. Oh my God, now I gotta enter this thing. So what was it? It was
boom.
Now do we have actual internet access? Oh wow, boom. We have internet. Okay, step 1 is done. Step 2, I don't even know how many steps this is gonna be, but next step is to deploy the other 2 satellite routers somewhere else in the house, spaced apart enough to where you can get good coverage, but close enough to each other to where they can kind of bounce a signal off of each other. So let's do that. Okay, so we are down here in the man cave, which is on the east side of the house, maybe, I don't know. But like I said before, we do have another router down here, and obviously the reason for that is to get better coverage, but they also have a ginormous solar setup on their roof, and the base of that is located over here and it needs to be connected to Wi-Fi, so that is another reason that you need connection pretty much anywhere in the house. So right now we are using this router right here, and we are going to replace that with router mesh system number 2. Just like the other one, you plug it into power. I don't believe this has PoE, which isn't really a problem for some people, but I know a lot of people like PoE because you only have to run one cable for both networking and power. But I believe with some of their other systems, maybe they do have PoE. I probably should have researched that before, but I didn't because I'm lazy. But this one does not have PoE, so we do have to plug in a dedicated power adapter and then the networking. So we have go to your home, in. I think we're good now. So what I'm gonna do is go back into the app, and it says how to add other mesh points to the kit. It walks you through the entire thing. Next, place the other mesh point. Placed. Power on the mesh. It is powered on. Check the connection. Green equals excellent connection. Wow, we have an excellent connection. Okay, no. Okay, cool. So it's showing 1 and 2 both connected with 4 devices connected to our entire network. Obviously it's showing our third one isn't connected because it hasn't been connected. Yeah, we are good. I don't think it tells us which one we are connected to right now. So it looks like 2 devices are connected to, or 1 device is connected to the 1833, which is maybe this one. It looks like we are good to go. So let's just go repeat the process for number 3. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I was just studying for my accounting CPA thing. It's taxes. Anyway, so we are in the master bedroom where we have installed the 3rd device. And similar to the last one, we are just going to go into the app. And from here, we are seeing that the 3rd one is not online, but we do have the green light, which means, oh, it looks like it's doing something. I didn't press anything. It kind of just did it all on its own. Saying online connection quality is good. It's not excellent. Obviously, so it's saying you can move it closer to another one to get a better connection, but I assume that good is good enough. We should technically be ready to go. That was extremely painless, if we're being honest. So the test is, the problem before was that didn't have good Wi-Fi coverage throughout the house. So right here, let's go into speed test. Now this is very dependent on what ISP services you're paying for. And here with AT&T, we don't have the best with AT&T around here. So let's run it. And you should get about, what, 20-ish down, which is what you're paying for, which is good. We're seeing 17, 18, which is perfectly fine. But the problem was that as you moved throughout the house, the connection would go down. So what we're gonna do is a live speed test as I'm walking through the house, and this is gonna be recorded while I'm doing it so you can watch the speed test as we're walking through the house. If it works as it should, then we should get a stable connection no matter where we are in the house. As with before, the further away you got from the router, obviously the worse your connection was. So here we go. And we're on the, okay, test again. Here we go. We are speed testing. We are speed 20, 18, 15, 16, 17, 16. At this point, it should connect to the other router up here, 17, 18, 16, 15. Stop, let's restart it, hold on. Okay, 20, 26, 28, 29, 30, 30. Okay, we walked across the house. We got somewhere between 18 to 30, which when you're paying for around, I don't know, what are you paying, 20, 25-ish? So that's good. Now let's go as we're going upstairs because obviously this is a 2-story house. So let's test again, here we go. Follow me, the internet man. 14, 15, 16, 18. Okay, 21, 22, 23. Keep going, test again. Rapid fire, here we go. Lights on, real time, 27, 28, 29, 30. From everywhere in the house, we are getting a decent connection. We are pulling, obviously the closer you are to the main hub and our one with the excellent connection, you're going to get a better connection, but it is far and away better than what you were seeing before. Is that correct? Am I safe to assume this is better than what you were seeing before? I am out of breath, dude. I can't even walk and talk at the same time. Oh my God.
Shouldn't have done like that.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Outside is the test.
Oh, outside, yeah. So let's go outside because before, so the main router was in here upstairs in the middle of the house, and then the other router was on the complete other side of the house. But we are going to test outside away from both routers from before. But now that we have a mesh system with one of the routers closer to outside, we should still get a decent connection. Outside, where notably it's been the worst connection. Here we are. And we are still sitting at 25, 20, 21, 22, 20. There's a person in my front door, 19, 19. We are very far away from the main system. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna see how far we can actually go and still get connection. We are pretty far away. I almost just fell in the pool. Okay, over here, we are starting to see some dips. So yeah, over here, we're looking at 2, 3-ish, 2, 3, 4, okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, okay. Actually still not bad. This is the edge of the property. So at this point, we can safely assume that you can get decent connections from anywhere in the house, from anywhere on the property, which I know for a fact wasn't the case before. So obviously this test isn't indicative of the actual speeds you're gonna see. The routers are capable of up to 866 megabits per second, but like I've said in previous videos, it's extremely dependent on your use cases, and if you're downloading directly from the internet, it's only gonna be as fast as what you're paying your ISP for. So obviously, you're gonna get much faster in this if you're paying for faster speeds, and if you're connecting across the network from computer to computer, you will see obviously much faster speeds up to 866 megabits per second on the 5 gigahertz channel. So Yeah, that is honestly pretty impressive. This entire setup took like an hour, even with filming and setting up. If you weren't filming, you could probably get this set up in 10 minutes, to be honest. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I will meet you guys back in my office and we will give kind of an overview on the entire process and what we learned today. Okay, I lied. I was looking in the app and I realized I forgot to walk through the settings and the features of this mesh system, so let's go ahead and do that. In the settings, you have your basic stuff, Wi-Fi settings, you can change the name, you can change the password. You can activate a guest network, which is essentially its own VLAN, meaning that if you want to have a network for IoT devices or security stuff, or honestly just for guests to where they have access to the internet, but they're kind of blocked off from all your other stuff, you can activate that here if you want. Modify date and time. They have parental controls in here where you can set up groups for users that have certain accesses to things. Internet settings, so this is pretty standard. DHCP, you can set a static IP address or you can put it in bridge mode. DHCP is what 99% of people are going to use. QoS, you can enable that if you need it. I would recommend just leaving that off. Add a mesh point, so if you have more, just simply go in here and add another one, easy peasy. Fast roaming, this function allows one mesh to hand over clients quicker. It says you can turn this on. So as you saw when I was running through a house, you could see dips where it was connecting to a different network. You can turn on fast roaming if you want to test that out. By default, it's off. I'd recommend leaving it off unless you really need that feature. Capacity oriented, okay, sure. Smart assistant, oh God, what is going on? No, okay, no. Port forwarding, so if you need to open any ports on your network, pretty straightforward. Go in here, add rule. You can pick what IP you want, specific ports to forward through, and yeah, that's pretty basic. UPnP, it's on by default. Those of you with your tinfoil hats that don't like UPnP, note that this is on by default if you want to turn it off. Your DHCP server, this is going to be where you can assign what you want your DHCP server to cover in terms of IP address ranges. You can change that if you see fit. DNS, if you want to set a custom DNS server or not, by default it uses the one assigned from your modem. WPS for security, upgrades, and maintenance schedules. And honestly, that's more than enough for the basic home user, which honestly, it's laid out pretty easy to find everything, so can't complain. All right, it's been about a week since I deployed the mesh Wi-Fi system, and that's because I wanted to give my friends some time to actually use it and report back to me with how they felt about it. And honestly, they've had nothing but positive things to say about the setup. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. It provided more coverage over their entire property and kept speeds as high as they were when they were sitting directly next to their original router. So overall, I'd say it was a success. Now, is this system perfect? Obviously not. I mean, definitely it does what it's supposed to, and for under $200 for 99% of people, I would 100% recommend this product, but it doesn't come without some sacrifices, and I wouldn't necessarily call these negatives. They're just things that could be improved on. Now, obviously, it's not Wi-Fi 6, and if it was, it would probably be more expensive, so that's kind of a wash. Another thing to note is that it's not part of a big fancy ecosystem with something like Unify or TP-Link Omada. You get nice integration with a whole plethora of different hardware that you can set up and configure all within its nice fancy ecosystem. You don't get that here, but again, not really a problem for most people. And the third thing, the one that I would only really consider a negative, is that it doesn't have PoE, meaning that you have to run a dedicated data connection and you have to run a dedicated power connection. So with PoE, that would resolve it. You'd only have to run a single cable, but again, not really a huge issue, but it's just something I wish it had. So if all that sounds good to you, again, I would 100% recommend it. You can find a link to the product below using my affiliate link. If you purchase it through there, it's no extra cost to you. It helps me. I can probably buy a McDouble if you do it, so help keep me fed. But yeah, let's hop into comments of the week. This one comes on my Beginner's Guide to Home Servers from my boy Patrick Fleming, who says, "Don't be afraid to try new things and mess up," quoting me from the video saying, "So true, No one learns anything from stuff that works right the first time. You learn stuff from all the crap you break and need to fix. I 100% agree with that. If you just followed a guide and implemented something and it worked perfectly, all you really learned was how to copy and paste commands into your terminal. The real learning comes from in between, when it eventually doesn't work and breaks and you try new things and you have to figure things out on your own and figure out, oh wait, what do those commands actually do? That is where you learn. So again, don't be afraid to mess up. Everybody does it. It's only a step, a necessary step to learning. So again, 100% agree with Patrick. But that is it. That is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it somewhat entertaining. If you did, drop a like. If you like content like this, please consider subscribing. It helps my channel a whole bunch. And one thing I do want to do is give a shout out to all of my Patreons and YouTube members. You guys continue to support me. It is amazing. I sincerely appreciate it. You guys are awesome. But that is it. If you got this far in the video, I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.